Hello.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Able to listen me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Is my audio audible, sir?
Yes, sir. It is audible.
రావాలంటే షేర్ చేశారా దాని పిల్లల్ని మన పీపీటీ షేర్ అయిందా లేదా Good afternoon, sir. Respected Principal Dr. V.V. Ramareddy, sir. Professor M. Jaidev, Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. Sri B. Ramakrishna, sir, Scientist G. Armor Design and Development Group, Defense Metallurgical Research Laboratory. Sri Gaddar Ravi, sir, Joint Director, MSME Development Institute, Visakhapatnam. Sri M. College Consultant, MSME Technology Center, facilities, faculty, students, to all of. This is Dr. A. Paramkrishnan, convener of LISP, Lindy Innovation Startup Policy, Department of Engineering and Technology. We have successfully completed 2 online meetings for training Lindy Innovation Startup Policy, LISP, for students and faculty. This is the third online meeting with an agenda prepare the innovation and entrepreneurship policy document at the higher educational institute. The valuable suggestions of the respected members in previous 2 meetings. We framed a policy document and we also shared the policy document to all the respected members. Now I thank the principal sir to give me an opportunity to brief about this policy document. So this is Dr. A.V. Paramkrishnan. About this policy document. Of course, whatever the point that we are going to discuss in this third meeting, we have already discussed in previous meetings, and we incorporated all the suggestions by respected members of this team. I will start this presentation, the introduction. Here, Ecom College Incubation and Innovation Center is set up to promote innovation among the faculty, staff, research scholars, students at LIET and startup from vicinity. They mainly also facilitate intellectual property ownership management. Here, in this policy, the main guidelines are related to the intellectual property ownership management, the technology licensing, institutional startup policy, etc. The main vision of this Lind Innovation Startup Policy, LISP, is to convert ideas of the student, faculty, or staff to the startup. That is the main vision of this LISP. The mission of this LSP is to create an ecosystem in order to transform the knowledge of students, faculty, and staff into creation of wealth and social value through successful ventures. These are the vision and mission. We have already discussed in the previous meetings, sir. The incubation and innovation cell in our college accept ideas from different domains as mentioned below. Artificial intelligence and remote monitoring, cyber security, telecommunication, information and communication technology, Internet of Things, solar photovoltaic system and design optimization, electricity, new and renewable energy, environmental sustainability, energy conservation, energy efficiency, equipments, electric mobility, education, manufacturing automation, income, creative manufacturing, water sanitation, solid liquid waste management, waste heat recovery systems, drone technology, agriculture, blockchain, and Ramakrishna sir has given suggestions to add 3D printing and car diagnosis system also. We have included in this medical domain, sir. The this LISP is mainly added. This LISP is mainly framed with respect to the main thrust areas. Here we get some disturbances, sir. I request all the participants of this meeting to mute yourself. PPT. Sorry. FI ఎక్కడ ఉన్నది ఇది? Screen లో. Full screen. Sorry, sir, for interruption. Here, this LISP is mainly framed on the some thrust areas of LISP here. The first thrust area of LISP is that strategies and governance. Before framing this LISP, what are the policies, what are the procedures, what are the rules and regulations that we need to follow? All these are discussed in this strategies and governance topic. And after that, startups enabling institutional infrastructure. After framing the strategies and governance, that are procedures, what procedures that are to be followed, we need to discuss about institutional infrastructure regarding this IASC. After discussing with respect to the institutional infrastructure related to the IASC, the next thrust area is that nurturing innovations and startups. So how a student's idea is converted into startup? How we encourage the students to convert that idea of student, faculty, and staff into the startup? All these will be discussed in this heading of nurturing innovation and startups. And of course, all these have been discussed in the previous two meetings. And we have also included the suggestions given by the respected members of this LISP. And the fourth trust area is that product ownership rights of technologies developed at institute. After converting an idea into a startup, what about ownership between institute and that inventor? That inventor may be a faculty or student or staff. After that, organization capacity and human resources and incentives are also included in this policy, and creating innovation pipeline and pathways for entrepreneurs at institute level. How we create the innovation pipeline and pathways so that a student can become an entrepreneur at the institute level. So all these will be discussed at this thrust area, and the norms for faculty startups. What are the different norms that are available for faculty startups? And collaboration, co-creation, business relationships, and for knowledge exchange. So how we do a project collaboratively, a student or student with faculty, faculty with faculty of other institutes. How we collaboratively do this, all these will be discussed in this heading. And finally, entrepreneurial impact assessment. So after IAC has been established and facilities are provided by the institute, and the policy document is created and everything is available. But until unless a student, faculty, or staff are utilizing the facilities provided by the IISc, then it is not no use. So we need to assess the student, faculty, and staff how they utilize the facilities of IISc and EDC. So now I will come to one by one of these trust areas. Coming to the strategies and governance, I just give main important points regarding these strategies and governance. The main important points are that at least the institute has to give the 1% fund of the total annual budget towards this innovation and startups related activities. That is one point we have discussed in the previous two meetings, and respected members have been agreed to this member also, this 1% fund from the management. And in addition to the 1% fund from the institute, the institute may also raise the fund, from the state and central governments, just like DST, DBT, MHRD, ACT, TDP, etc. And in addition to the fund from the state and central government, the institute can also approach private corporate sectors under the section of 135 of the Company Act 2013. That act is nothing but corporate social responsibility. So under this act also, the institute can raise the fund. In addition to these ways for raising the funds, the institute can also raise the fund from the sponsorships and donations and alumni network also. So these are the strategies and governance. Now coming to the startups enabling institutional infrastructure. The main thing is that the infrastructure at the pre-incubation, incubation facility should be available to the students, faculty, and staff at each and every day and each and every hour. That is 24/7, 24/7. And this pre-incubation facility should be managed by the both IAC and EDC of LIET. And of course, here IAC can offer mentoring. If the student is coming with an idea, then in order to translate that idea into the commercial product, the IAC may offer mentoring and other related services with or without fees, with or without fees. That depending upon the case to case. This incubation center should provide facilities for both UG, PG, students, staff, faculty, alumni, and some potential startup applicants even from outside of LIT also. And all the students of BTech and MTech have to register through LIT website or at our incubation center. If a student is supposed to register, he is supposed to register through website, or he may approach directly to the incubation center also. And finally, in return of the services and facilities, LIT should take 2% to 9.5% equity share. So the share between institute and the inventor may be either student, faculty, or staff. Then that share should be like this. And of course, this number is also given by the NISP documentation. There is no change in this number. There are no chances to change in this number. That number should be 2% to 9.5% equity share should be taken by the institute. Now coming to the product ownership rights. Product ownership rights. Once the idea is converted into the commercial product, how that ownership is shared with the institute and that inventor. So if that inventor uses LIT facilities or funds or that product developed as a part of curriculum or academic activity, then that then that ownership should be jointly owned by both inventors and the LIT. If that product or IPR is developed by innovators only and not using any LIT facilities, then in that case, then that product IPR will be entirely owned by the inventor only. If there is a dispute in ownership between institute and inventor, then in that case, in order to resolve that dispute, a 5-member committee consisting of 2 faculty members having developed sufficient IPR are translated to commercialization, and 2 of the institute's alumni or industry experts, and 1 legal advisor. These 5 members have to form a committee. That committee will resolve that dispute. These are the points which are regarding to the product ownership. Now coming to the organizational capacity, human resources, and incentives. The Incubation Innovation Center in LIT may recruit staffs that have a strong innovation in entrepreneur as well as innovation and I&E culture. And the cross-departmental linkages should be strengthened through shared faculty, cross-faculty teaching and research. That means interdepartmental faculty can do their research. And periodically, some external subject matters experts such as guest lecturers or the respected member Ramkrishna sir has given a suggestion. It is better to call the industrial delegates. So that's why I have written here industrial delegates. So conducting the guest lectures with industrial delegates or alumni should be engaged for strategic advice and bringing in skills which are not available internally. So some skills may not be available internally in the institute. Then for having that knowledge or that skills, we may call the experts from the industries or famous universities also. And faculty and staff are to be encouraged to do course on innovation, entrepreneurship management, and venture development. So this is very important aspect in any engineering college in order to improve the entrepreneurship culture among the students, faculty, and staff. So we need to encourage to do the courses, on innovation and entrepreneurship. And for that, the reward system for the staff may include sabbaticals or reduced teaching loads or awards, trainings, etc. Now coming to the 6th thrust area, that is creating innovation pipeline and pathways for entrepreneurship. How an innovation is spreaded among the students, that everything is discussed in this sixth thrust area, that is creating innovation pipeline and pathways for entrepreneurship. The first point is that spreading awareness among students, faculty, and staff about the value of entrepreneurship, how this entrepreneurship can give a good career in development. That can be spreaded among the students, faculty, and staff. And we need to encourage the to develop the entrepreneurial mindset of the among the students also. Among the students, we need to develop entrepreneurial mindsets by inviting entrepreneurs or experts so that they address an excellent lecture, so that entrepreneurial mindset minds can be set into the students. And initiatives like ideas, innovation competitions, hackathons, workshops, boot camps, etc., can be routinely organized. So that if we organize these competitions routinely, then the entrepreneurship or innovation culture can be developed among the students, faculty, and staff. Now coming to the norms for faculty startups. So what are the norms regarding faculty startups are discussed in this trust area? The faculty members can do their startups alone, or they can combine with the students, or they can combine with the faculty of other institutes also, or they can combine with the alumni or other entrepreneurs also. And here, the role of faculty may vary from being an owner. If they do the project, the startup, the role may vary from an owner, a direct promoter, a mentor, consultant, or as an on-board member. The role may be varied. In case the role is that if a faculty holds the role as an executive or managerial position for more than 3 months, if a faculty holds that position for more than 3 months in a startup, then they may go on a sabbatical leave without pay or utilizing existing leave. Now coming to the pedagogy and learning interventions for entrepreneurship development. Here, coming to this trust area, instead of traditional lecture-based delivery, we generally we follow the traditional lecture-based delivery. Instead of that, we have to give the encouragement to follow an approach. That approach should be adapted to produce desirable learning outcomes, which will include, so for example, cross-disciplinary learning using mentors, labs, case studies, games, etc. So we need to follow a different approach instead of traditional lecture-based delivery. And the entrepreneurship education will be imparted to students at curricular or co-curricular, extracurricular level. That is, it is also suggested to the institute. It is better to include an entrepreneurship as a subject in a curriculum or a co-curriculum or extracurricular level. Here we need to get the changes. We need to get the pedagogical changes that should be done to ensure that the maximum number of student projects and innovations are based on around real life challenges. So this is very important point regarding this pedagogy and learning interventionships for entrepreneurship development. So as a faculty, we need to encourage the students to do their projects. That projects are mainly based on real life challenges. That real life challenges might be, suppose a problem in industry can face the problem. Then the student can take up that problem. As Ramakrishna sir has told us, it is better to tie up with industries and take the problems of that industries and solve that problem as a project. So it is the best idea. Now coming to the collaboration, co-creation, business relationships and knowledge exchange. Coming to this trust area, for collaboration and co-creation and business relationships, so institute should find a potential partners. Institute may not do that incubation and entrepreneurship related activities and startups alone. They may find potential partners, just like small and medium-sized enterprises. So for example, MSME, social enterprises, schools, alumni, or professional bodies. The institute has to develop a policy and guidelines for forming and managing the relationship with external stakeholders, including private industries. So it has to have a good relationship with private industries also. Coming to the last trust area, that is entrepreneurial impact assessment. So once a student has started with an idea, and the incubation innovation center and the EDC center both will give guidelines or training or help or mentorship to that students or faculty or staff, so that that idea is converted into the commercialization product. So this is the actual target of the any institute. So in this journey, how the students, how the faculty, how the staff are utilizing the facilities of IAS and EDC or incubation facilities. So we need to assess their performance. For assessing that performance of these students and faculty and staff, a separate document has to be framed by the that institute. And that assessment may be dependent on participation in awareness programs, a micro degree certification program, workshops and training programs, and utilization of pre-incubation facilities. So all these will have to be considered while assessing the performance of the faculty or students and staff. And participation in various idea, POC, prototype, deep learning, competitions, hackers, all these have to be considered. And a contribution in industrial projects and consultancy projects, and participation in pitching for fundraising and grant support from government and non-government agencies. So after completing these trust areas, and we'll discuss on short-term plans and long-term plans. The short-term plans. So this LISP is mainly framed with an intention of targeting with the short-term plans and the long-term plans. Short-term plans may be achieved within 2 to 3 years, and long-term plans have to be achieved within 5 to 6 years. So first, coming to the short-term plans, establish innovation, pre-incubation, incubation, and startup facilities in the campus. So we need to establish these innovation facilities in the campus, and conduct 2 training programs or faculty development programs and entrepreneurship development programs or workshops, lectures, seminars, whatever it may be, per year for skill and competency development. As Ramakrishna sir has told us to, it is better to conduct that FDPs and EDPs with industry delegates. We have included here, sir. The FDPs and EDPs are to be conducted with industry delegates, and encourage the students, staff, and faculty to work on what they learned in conducting FDPs and EDPs. Dr. Jaydev sir, IIMB, Professor Jaydev sir, IIMB has suggested regarding the short-term plans. So after workshop completed, how many students, faculty, staff turned down? So we need to encourage the students, faculty, and staff to work on what they learned in conducted in FDPs and EDPs. Once the FDP and EDPs completed, whatever they learned in that FDPs and EDPs, we need to encourage the students, staff, and faculty to work on that learned content. So in the next 2 years, at least 5 innovative or industrial related projects should be completed. This is also short-term plan given by the suggested by the respected member, and organize the two competition events like campus hackathon or boot campus, etc. per year, and encourage the students to complete the entrepreneurship education through MOOCs or classroom experimental learning program, etc. So we need to encourage the students. This is very important point regarding having a innovative or entrepreneurship culture among the students, faculty, and staff. So we need to encourage the students to complete entrepreneurship education and encourage the students, faculty, and staff to access the infrastructure and facilities of IISc. This is very important. Even we have the facilities in IISc, if no one is using the facilities, it is useless. So we need to encourage the students and motivate the students, faculty, and staff such that the students' projects turns to commercialization innovation. Ramakrishna sir has told us that so finally we have a product-based project. So commercialization product, and educate the students, faculty, and staff to publish the research studies on entrepreneurship. In addition to publications in their respective engineering specializations, we need to encourage the students, faculty, and staff to publish their research in entrepreneurship also, and identify the technical problem of industry faces in major domain given in major domains, and encourage the students, staff, and faculty for effective problem solving. What are the major domains that we have discussed on the domain? Identify the technical problem the industry faces, and solve that problem. And motivate the students, faculty, and staff to complete educational skills certification program, entrepreneurship, IPR, innovation, etc. So coming to the long-term plans, so developing a critical mass of motivated students, faculties with entrepreneurial orientation skill. So this is very important. We need to develop a critical mass of motivated students and faculties, and at least 50% student faculty mass with entrepreneurship orientation. So in the institute, at least half of the members, half of the students, or half of the faculty, or half of the staff should have a knowledge on entrepreneurship, and 5% graduate students will choose entrepreneurship as a career. So this is our long-term plans, and we need to establish at least 5 startups and establish the network with connecting multiple stakeholders and ecosystem enablers. So we have a strong network with multiple stakeholders and ecosystem enablers, and creating societal, ethical, and technological entrepreneurship through national innovation startup policy, and increase the technical employment rate through self-employment by startups. Thank you very much, sir, for giving this opportunity. Now I request Ramakrishna sir to give us suggestions regarding this.
Yeah, Dr. Parang Sangar, everything is fine. You have given a wonderful presentation. And today's meeting is a summary of whatever meetings we had earlier.
Yes, sir.
So you actually summarized the entire requirements, whatever suggested by Professor Jaydev, by me, and many other members very effectively. And you brought out a beautiful document in a beautiful document form. Now the whole issue comes in how to implement this and where to start and how to start. That is where actually the entire crux of the whole work starts. So for that, we need to have an action plan of implementation. Okay.
Yes.
So how to start? Now you have actually established a center. And what is going to be the next step? Everything now you documented the process of initiating this LIC, etc. very well. Now where to start? That should be the point where we need to discuss. We need to deliberate more. Okay. So for that, do you have any plan as of now?
Yes, sir. Right now we have established the IAC and the EDC in our institute, sir. With, still we need to develop some infrastructure to the AAC and EDC, and
Right.
we are in that planning, sir. And with the present equipment and facilities of IAS and EDC, we have developed some products also, but not
Good.
that products not come to up to commercialization level. So
Right.
we are in the beginning, sir. We are in the beginning.
Right. So what I suggest is you actually conduct a brainstorming session with your final year and third year students
Yes, sir. Yes,
of each branch.
okay, sir.
Let them group into 4, 4, 5, 5 people,
Okay,
depending on their likings, their friendships, etc.
okay.
Let each group come out with an idea, specific idea.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Let those ideas, then we'll debate those ideas, out of which whichever we feel that they are feasible and they are slightly more attractive in terms of engineering application, etc., or practical application, we'll try to figure them out and try to find out what are the infrastructure requirements for developing or designing those. We shall see whether they are available in the institute. If they are not available in the institute, where in other locations these kind of facilities available, and how can we access them? All that we can think of once we come up with some 3, 4 ideas. You just group your students. You ask them to come up with their own ideas of what they want to do.
Okay, sir.
So definitely, out of at least some 10, 12 ideas which are generated by your students, definitely at least 2 ideas will be productive ideas. Then we'll see how to take them forward. What are all the facilities required? What is the technical acumen that needs to be pumped in? All that can be looked into.
Okay, sir. Actually, in the last year, we have called the students groups to come up with some ideas, sir. Many students have come up with ideas, and students' ideas have been developed a product, and they participated in Smart India Hackathon competition also. In that journey, some students have won the prizes also, sir.
Right. Good. So same way you actually start up this time also. Okay. Then let us examine. Let us see what are their ideas and how well they can be implemented. And what is the long-term commercial goal for that particular thought which they have come up with? All that can be debated and it can be taken forward.
Okay.
This is my suggestion. We have to start somewhere now. Having made a beautiful policy of innovation, now we need to start up.
Okay. Definitely.
And this is my initial suggestion. As the time progresses, I'll be giving you more and more suggestions because maybe off the hand, I may not be in a position to really sum up everything. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. That will start up like this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving valuable suggestions, sir. Definitely, we will follow your suggestions.
Yeah.
Now, request Ravi, sir, to give us some suggestions regarding this LISP policy implementation. Sir, your voice is not audible, sir. So you please unmute, sir.
Is it audible now?
No, sir. Now it is audible, sir.
Okay. The document which you have prepared and circulated is a very nice document. But again, what my earlier speaker was telling about the implementation,
Yes,
that is one point you have to take care of. Another one is there are some institutions in and around Vizag which can facilitate some of the activities of this particular cell. Like for example, NRDC, they are rendering services for IPR facilities. So you can have tie-up with them, and MSMEDA, our office, of course, we will be with you. We will also be conducting EDPs and everything. Along with that, we will also do along with you. And BSNL, recently I come across, they are also rendering so many training programs, and they are doing some projects for engineers on wireless applications and everything. So you can have tie-up with them also, so that you can have some infrastructure in your hand instead of running pillar to post.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hope it is fine for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Sir, I thank Ramkrishna sir and G. Ravi sir to give us valuable suggestions. Definitely, sir. Thank you for very much. You told that the document is very nice, and we have done so much hard work to prepare this documentation. And now the time comes to how to implement according to your suggestions. Now the time is that how we can implement this policy document into the reality. So, regarding that, first of all, we will call the students to get the ideas from the students, and after getting that ideas, how many ideas are can be converted into the real life commercialization products and feasibility and everything will be checked, so that some ideas will be selected, and for those ideas, and we give the training. If the training can be given by the additional faculty, let it be. But if it is required, then we definitely call the some experts from the industries and other famous universities, and we also tie up with that BSNL or other MSME to do some projects also. So in this respect, in this journey, I request G. Ravi sir and Ramkrishna sir to give me encouragement and help in this journey. I really happy if you give me that encouragement or help whenever I need some help to conduct events or experts from other industries. I request both of you, sir. Definitely.
Definitely. I'm always open. Parangasangar, any help, anything you require, you can just give me a message or call me. I'm always there with you for any kind of help. Don't worry at all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So I am very interested to do this. I am very interested to do implement this policy in real life. So in this journey, if I need help, definitely I will ask all the members of this LISP, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Shall we
Thank you,
conclude
Parangasangar.
Shall we conclude the meeting?
Okay, sir. You please conclude.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
రికార్డింగ్ అవ్వాలి కదా రికార్డింగ్ అవ్వాలంటే స్టాప్ రికార్డింగ్ స్టాప్ రికార్డింగ్